we will be competitive from day one. I believe so, and we will fight again for the Premier League Premiership.
If you're new to this channel, then welcome and thanks for watching, and please take the time to subscribe. It's free. Put a like, a thumbs up and all that sort of stuff, because it all helps the channel. This is a channel that is dedicated to all things Manchester City, but principally is about match day vlogs, which is me talking to fans who are at the games, home and away, all over the country, all over Europe, and telling you what they, or letting them talk about what they think before a game and then how they react to it afterwards. But there are exceptions, and this is one of those exceptions, because I also do an audio podcast, which if you follow me on X / Twitter or Facebook, there's actually a Facebook page called Forever Blue, then you will see the links that I put up there to the audio podcast, which is available on SoundCloud. It's weekly. It's usually me talking to a former City player or manager and a couple of City fans that are part of the Forever Blue squad. And a couple of weeks ago, I spoke to Uwe Rosler, former City striker. He's based in Denmark. He's a coach over there. But he talked to me about his hopes and his thoughts on City for the new season. And I thought it was relevant that you should see it. And it's thanks to Counting King, who are a company who do business loans and try to do creative tax situations for your company. So if you own a company or you want to get your company involved in it, they can help you. Counting King, they're called. Look them up. They're based at Exchange Square, and they will try and help as much as they can, and they're very good at what they do. So thanks very much to Counting King. So without further ado, here is a video version of Uwe Rosler chatting to me about City's hopes for the 2024-25 season. Hope you like it. And it's great to be a Blue, isn't it?
Exciting times ahead of us. I really got excited how Pep used the youth, the academy players in the preseason. I think Mkhitaryan, they got a lot of playing time. Pep had a really good look. Experienced players, the established players had longer holidays, and I think it was a great opportunity to have a good look at them and maybe fit one or two into the squad like Pep successfully did in the last years. And I think they will definitely go for one more major signing. They lost Alvarez on big money. I think it's a good deal for the club. And exciting who they will bring in. We will be competitive from day one. I believe so. And we will fight again for the Premier League Premiership.
I get the feeling that Pep is reinventing the way his team plays again, because it's been famed for all the passing and moving and maybe having a false nine. Then he's brought in Erling Haaland, who we've talked about before on the podcast, and now he seems to have gone for wingers who dribble. So you've got Doku, you've got Savinho, you've got Oscar Bob, who like to take players on, and presumably the plan now is to get down the wings and supply crosses for Haaland, which is completely different than the way City have probably been playing for 2 or 3 years, isn't it?
Yes, I think all the very, very successful managers, they're always doing that. They're always thinking and winking after a certain amount of time, because you never can be predictable. They always find ways to surprise the opponents. I think they have always the basement of the idea of football will always stay on. But there will be sometimes, like you said, with a clear number 9, with a false number 9, with wingers, with converted inside wingers coming on the inside. So I think we will be very unpredictable again in our offensive play. I think it's very important. The core of the team, the spine of the team stays, and gives the team stability and make us competitive from day one. I think it's very important that we starting well into the season, and historically we will come stronger and stronger the later the season goes, and when the prize is giving out in March, April, we are at our best, and I think I can see that in the coming season as well.
You have, of course, lots of contacts in Scandinavia. I know you've been coaching there, and and you've got family and everything in Scandinavia, and you gave us an insight into Haaland before he came. Oscar Bob, although on the face of it, seems like a youth player, an English youth player. He's actually from Norway, isn't he? And do you know much about him? Do you rate him? I mean, you watch some of his dribbling runs, and he's left-footed and he's small, and you don't want to overhype him, but you start thinking Messi, don't you, when you see what he can do?
Yeah, when you see now Oscar Bob and Savio, you have players who are very, very good in tight areas, very good in small areas to coming out of it with the ball or find the pass out of it with a progression in attacking play. Oscar Bob obviously is a Norwegian international. Norway, um, unfortunately, they didn't qualify it for the Euros, but they have actually with Ødegaard and Haaland two world-class players, and then Oscar Bob is coming, and Nusa is coming from Club Brugge, is another exciting winger. And they're having a very good group of young players, but the future looks bright in Norway. And Oscar Bob, I think he will get more and more playing time. He will be carefully brought up from Pep to a point where he can sustain the level of performances and where he can play week in, week out. I think he will be used um, frequently. He will be used in all the competition, and I think he's grown as a player and he's also grown as a person. You could see that.
I mean, I look around at the opposition, the likely opposition in the Premier League title race, and I look at Arsenal. And Pep was talking about Arsenal the other day and saying, they're flying already. But I look at Liverpool, new coach. I look at United and the uncertainty that they've got. Chelsea have scattergunned again with signings. Where is the threat coming from to City? Is it just Arsenal, do you think?
I think the league is very competitive. You need to be at your best against anyone in the league, but consistently, threat will come from Arsenal. There's no question about it. I think they've been last couple of years they come closer and closer. Uh, they're very hungry. The coach is very hungry. The club is very hungry. They have not won the league for quite some time, and they will be, in my opinion, the biggest threat for us.
And you mentioned Odegaard. I mean, he is their key player, isn't he?
Obviously, each very successful team has also two or three players who's standing out, and he's one of them. I think with the ball, he finds passes who not a lot of players can see. Um, he can open up defenses, deep lying defenses where there's not much space with a fantastic pass, line splitting passes. But I also think off the ball, he is so important for the team for their pressing. In my opinion, he's a complete midfielder on the ball and without the ball, and obviously grown as a man to be for the years to come a very important captain also for the team.
When you look at this season coming up now, it's going to be longer than ever before. The Club World Cup, as it stands at the moment, unless there's a dramatic last minute change, is going to take 3 or 4 weeks in the summer next year. So there's no break for these players. And Rodri's stated he doesn't want to play all the time. And I can understand why players might get fatigued mentally and physically. It's a big, big challenge. We know that Pep's in his last year as well. And the 115 charges against City are still hovering in the background. Supposedly going to start next month and then be concluded in January. There's a lot of clouds around the place. I'm surprised City have been able to negotiate the way through all this with seemingly few problems. Have you been surprised looking from the distance that you are?
I think the club is full of very competent people in their departments. I think they're running the club, the new ownership running this club since years in a very, very professional and top manner. We're developing as a club. We we did the academy produce players. We for the first team they also produce players to sell on. They produce players for the City group. There's a um, well-functioned production line of players, and I think the club is in a very good hands. With the 115 charges, I am not a lawyer. Sorry, I can't say anything about that. I mentioned before with Pep. I think this is important also, especially when you want to make one or two major signings in this summer. The first question from the players will be, is Pep staying? Because Pep is a big attraction for people to join our football club. And I think there has to come clarity, in my opinion, for everyone. Like I'm as a fan, like everyone else, we deeply hope that he will stay and that he will continue to love the project, what I think he does, and that he also find the energy to keep on going, because in this job, energy is a lot. Is a lot to do every day, and you have to have the energy to push on. And I think we are in good hands, and we are in a good situation. I think Pep finds all the time ways to keep the players hungry as well. The amount of games is ridiculous. People are FIFA, UEFA, they are not responsible for the health for the players. It's ridiculous what they put the players through. I really hope that not only Pep from the footballing side, but also sports science and the medicine people in the club, that they find a way to juggle the games in the best possible way, to pick and choose players when they need a rest, when they need to play, when the team needs to get up to speed. So, and obviously, the more strength and depth you have, the better it is. But we all knew that Manchester City never really had a massive squad. That also gives, for young players coming back to the academy, that also gives young players always a chance to get minutes, and when they're good enough, they will play. They will be introduced, and I think that is also important for the production line of players coming to the top. So I think we are in a good position, and in that environment, in that elite environment, the hunger will stay on for more titles. That's for sure.
There's no doubt the only person who knows what Pep's future is Pep Guardiola. But the fact that Lee Carsley has took over as a interim coach has prompted a lot of speculation over here that they might be considering a move for Pep, and he has never ruled out the possibility of being an international coach. If that was to happen and he was to go, which obviously none of us want to happen, do you think that would severely damage City?
Yeah, I wouldn't I wouldn't I wouldn't like to think so far, because we crossing that bridge at some point when we have to, but not now. I think there's a lot of football to be played, and but for me, and I think for a lot of supporters, I think it's important that clarity is needed at some point, and then everyone knows, and that sometimes can also give the whole club and the group also a boost, in both ways. So I think clarity is needed, and I'm sure the club will announce something when the time is right.
We saw what happened at Liverpool when Klopp announced he was going. Again, some people thought that'll give them a big boost. Others thought it'll knock them back because they know he's going. I mean, you can't win whatever you do, really, but clarity is
No,
the key word, isn't it?
yes, but football always goes on. So let's enjoy the moment. Football is about now and not about tomorrow or yesterday. So it's about now, and we are in good nick for the new season, that's for sure.
So you're excited. I mean, City could, in theory, win another treble. As we're sitting here now without a Premier League ball being kicked. What do you think?
I'm just excited again about the Premiership starting. I'm excited about seeing some new faces. I really hope that before the window closed, that Manchester City will make a major signing to replace Alvarez. I think that is needed to bring at least one or maybe two fresh top players in, and see what Pep comes up, how idea football this season, what the little change to surprise opponents will be this year. So I'm excited about that, and I'm sure, I'm full of confidence that we are competitive. That we can start the season well, and we won already the first silverware, so it's a good start.
Nice to do it against United too, wasn't it?
Yes, that for sure.
So what's happening in your world, Uwe? I know you're coaching, so are you just enjoying football as much as you've ever done?
Yeah, I'm coaching. Coaching is or football is my life, so it is a lifestyle. I enjoying it. Denmark, we had a good start. Played all three top teams already and have 7 points. I'm very happy with the football we play, the position we are. Now we're having two winnable matches, but we need to be at our top to get the points we all want. And then we had a fantastic start. So we are also hoping to bring one or two additions in what is needed before the window close. You know, all those questions, all those challenges, they are on every level the same, just with a different price tag. So so and and a different attention from the media. But I'm enjoying it. This is what I want to do as long as I can do.
And I'm speaking to you on your day off, yet you're still in the training ground. Do you ever have actually got time to come down to Manchester, to come home, as it were?
Yeah, that is a big regret I have to say, since I wasn't there since Corona. But I'm always employed. Uh, God bless, keep it going. So we playing on weekends. We have to prepare throughout the week. I plan this year to come finally in December, um, to see a couple of matches and stay for a week. Say hello to many friends I dearly missed over the last years, and that is the plan. And I'm pretty sure we will see each other then.
Well, in the meantime, good luck as your season continues, and
Thank you.
let's hope that when you come over in December, City top of the league, through to the semis or the quarterfinals or wherever it is in the League Cup, progress to the Champions League, and all those things. And Pep's committed to a long term. So, thanks very much, and thanks for chatting to us.
No problem all the time. Thanks, Ian.